In a press briefing in Malacanang, President Benigno Aquino III has announced on Thursday the implementation of an 18-day truce between the government and the New People's Army starting on Friday. President Aquino said that the suspension of military operations or SOMO was upon the recommendation of the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process and the Department of National Defense. Meantime, presidential spokesperson Edwin Lacerda said earlier that the ceasefire is good for both parties. President Benigno Aquino III has signed the 1.8 trillion pesos national budget for 2012 on Thursday, assuring the Congress that the budget will be spent swiftly. President Aquino said in his speech that he has already instructed government agencies to start the bidding of contracts for the planned projects in 2012, especially focused on infrastructures. The signing of the budget was done before the presence of Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile and House Speaker Jose Belmonte.
Pasay Regional Trial Court Branch 112 is set to hear the motion for bail and house arrest filed by former COMELEC Chair Benjamin Abalos. According to Abalos' legal counsel Brigido Dulay, their camp is ready to argue that his client is not flight risk. Meantime, Mandaluyong City Mayor Benhur Abalos Jr. is planning to ask the court to extend his father's visiting hours on Christmas Eve, as the police have set 9 to 11 in the morning and 1 to 4 in the afternoon as the only official hours for visit. On Wednesday, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, or CAAP, and the Manila International Airport Authority, or MIA, has released financial assistance to the families of the victims in the Parañaque crash last Saturday, amounting to a total of 750,000 pesos. CAAP handed over 500,000 pesos, while MIA gave 250,000 pesos to Parañaque Mayor Florencio Bernabe. Officials said the financial assistance given by the two agencies will be used for the purchase of initial construction materials to rebuild houses and nearby school building in the 2,000 square meter slum area in Barangay Don Bosco that was swallowed by the fire after the crash of the 8-seater aircraft.
The Department of Justice has dropped human trafficking charges filed versus 5 officers of the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, or POEA. POEA officers Alejandro Padayem, Jesus Gabriel Domingo, Marieta de la Cruz, Ernesto Vistro, and Naskel Gabito were accused by their co-worker, former POEA officer Stephen Cascolan, of conspiring with 3 recruitment agencies to send 100 Filipinos abroad despite an immediate order to cancel the permits of the said agencies. However, the DOJ has ruled that the evidence does not prove anything against the suspects and added that without any statements from the OFWs themselves, the allegations will not stand in court. The Development Bank of the Philippines is again in hot water after the Commission on Audit uncovered another questionable transaction. The said transaction involved the 546.2 million peso sale of DBP's share of stocks in the Manila Electric Company to an investment firm in which the government allegedly lost more than 837.5 million pesos in potential income. Based on the records, the DBP entered into an installment-based share purchase agreement on December 2, 2008 with the investment firm for 546.2 million pesos with a fixed term interest of 72.1 million pesos. The 2010 COA report was signed by State Auditor 5 Emelita Quirenta.
The 200,000 peso active pensioner members of the Government Service Insurance System, or GSIS, will receive Christmas cash gifts this year up to 12,600 pesos. According to GSIS President and General Manager Robert Vergara, the cash gift of GSIS to its pensioners will be with their accounts on December 15. But Vergara noted that pensioners whose status are suspended until December 31, 2011, but will regain their status by April 30, 2012, will receive their cash gift.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, reported that the tropical depression that was last spotted 1,400 kilometers east of Mindanao approaches the Philippine area of responsibility with maximum sustained winds of 55 kilometers per hour near the center and is forecasted to move west-northwest at 30 kilometers per hour. According to Robert Sawi, chief of PAGASA's Weather Division, the tropical depression